Okay, we're going to make scalloped potatoes. I'm going to start out with the 4 pounds of potatoes that it calls for. I put my bowl on the scale, zero the scale out, and I usually find this takes anywhere from 12 to 15 potatoes from a regular 10-pound bag of potatoes from Safeway. So I think I've got 15 there. I've got this one little baby one. And it ends up coming to 4 pounds, 5 ounces, and I'll just go with that. So if you don't have a scale, then, you know, about 12 to 15 potatoes are about this size. So then I put them in the Cuisinart right here. I'll stay plugged in. There we go, okay. So I put my slicing blade in my Cuisinart. It's best, you want to get the potatoes as even of a slice as possible so that they cook evenly. Okay, the potatoes are all sliced. So now I go ahead and take them out of my Cuisinart. I'm going to just go ahead and dump them back in this bowl for now. So there we go, these are all, like I said, you want to get it as even of a slice as possible so that the potatoes cook evenly. And you know, these ones, I'll probably take some of these out. I had a little bit extra. When the potato got stuck, it got too thin. But these would just turn to mush if I don't take them out. So now we're ready to start the sauce. Now we're making the sauce. I have the butter melted in the pan. I'm going to add the onions. We'll cook the onions until they get soft before we add the garlic. So now we're going to add the garlic. And stir that in. You can see the onions are just starting to get a little bit brown on the edges. The garlic doesn't need to cook near as long. So we'll stir this for about 30 seconds to a minute. Alright, so the garlic's done now. So we'll add, I've got the milk and the cream in this cup. It's definitely not a dish to be having too often. It's very creamy, very full of fat. So that's the cream and milk. Got some thyme.
You got thyme? Where can I get some?
Bay leaf. Salt. Pepper. Stir this up. And you just put the whole bay, or the whole stem of thyme in there. And then you pull the stems out after it's done, along with the bay leaves. You just mostly want the flavor from it. And we add the potatoes in. So at first it's kind of hard to stir this, but you want to try to get it mixed in well enough that the sauce is between all the slices of potato. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer and then let it cook, stirring frequently to keep all the potatoes in the liquid, help them cook evenly. But you'll do this for about 10-15 minutes until the potatoes are tender. You can stick your fingernail or a fork into them easily. And that'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, like I said, you know, you need to stir these occasionally while they're cooking. You want to keep it at a fairly steady simmer because you're trying to cook the potatoes a little bit and thicken up the cream sauce. You want to keep stirring them because the potatoes will, like, even in this pan, which is a non-stick pan, the potatoes start sticking to the bottom. It seems to happen no matter what pan I use. If I don't stir it for a couple minutes, that's what happens. You can see the sprigs of thyme. And sometimes some of the leaves will come off, but especially on the fresh stuff, it'll kind of stay on there. And then you can just pull them out. And you don't have any of the leaves or stems in the sauce. So just keep stirring it. And then you'll want to check it. See, it's still not going into it yet, so not very easily. So they need a few more minutes to cook. Okay, so the potatoes are done. As you can see, the fork, they break apart fairly easy. The fork goes in nice and easy. So now, pull out the pieces of bay leaf and thyme. Very hot, so be careful.
Can I take the time?
You can take the time. Huh? Yeah, sure. So, and if you miss a piece or two, it's not a big deal. It's all edible. And sometimes you'll find it when you're dumping it into the pan too. So, here's another piece of bay leaf. And sometimes these things break apart a little. So, you know, like I said, it doesn't hurt if some of it gets left in. There's another piece of thyme. Alright, so now we have a casserole dish. Spray it a little bit. Alright. Now, oops, I saw a piece as it was going in there. That's often how it happens. There we go. Oops. Burn my fingers. Oh, here we go. Okay. Alright. Oops, another piece. Okay. So, kind of spread this around in the pan a little bit. Oh, there's another piece of bay leaf. I think I got most of it. I can still see a few thyme leaves, but I'm not going to fuss about those. Those are completely edible. Won't even hardly notice them. So, again, want it to be even so that the casserole cooks evenly. Okay. So now, like I said, this is definitely not a low-fat dish. In our household, we reserve this for special occasions, but figured having my baby boy home for a few days is a special occasion, so I'll make every fattening food I know how to make. Alright, so got the cheese on here. Now we'll put foil over this and cook it for about 30 minutes at 400 degrees. And then if you like, take the foil off and cook it for like another 5 minutes or so under the broiler if you want it to be crispy on top. If not, just take the foil off and take it out of the oven, let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes before you serve it. And you're ready to enjoy creamy, cheesy scalloped potatoes.